Evan, a recent graduate from the prestigious National Institute of Technology, stood at the precipice of his adult life. He lived in a world where every aspect of human existence was meticulously controlled. The omnipresent state dictated career paths, social interactions, and even personal beliefs.
With my exceptional programming skills, I quickly became a prized asset absorbed into the Department of Information Control. I found solace in the logic and order of my work.
Evan had always been a solitary individual. He preferred the company of machines to the complexities of human interaction. His emotions were a tightly sealed vault, locked away to maintain order and efficiency. He excelled in this environment, his technical prowess earning him recognition and swift promotions. He was content, or so he believed, with his structured, predictable life.
One day, my routine was disrupted. I was tasked with developing a new algorithm for the social management program, designed to predict and prevent any deviations from societal norms.
As Evan delved deeper into the program, he stumbled upon a series of anomalies. These were profiles of 3 girls, flagged by the system as potential risks. Intrigued, Evan dug further. He discovered the girls' names: Natsuki, Tomoka, and Kyoko. Each possessed unique talents and personalities that the system deemed disruptive.
I felt a flicker of something unfamiliar, curiosity. I had to know more.
Driven by his newfound interest, Evan engineered a series of random encounters with the girls. He first met Natsuki in a crowded public transport. She was a gifted artist, her sketchbook filled with vibrant, expressive drawings that defied the state's approved aesthetic. Her art was a burst of color and emotion in a world of sterile conformity.
Art is my way of expressing what words can't. It's my rebellion against the gray.
Then there was Tomoka, a brilliant musician he encountered in a state-sanctioned recreational facility. Her music, though technically forbidden, was full of soul and rebellion. It spoke of freedom and individuality, concepts alien to the state's ideology.
Music is my voice. It's how I speak my truth.
Finally, he met Kyoko in a restricted section of the city archives. She was a voracious reader, consuming banned books and historical accounts that challenged the state's narrative. Her knowledge and independent thinking both intrigued and unsettled him.
The truth is out there, buried under layers of control. We just have to dig it up.
Evan, accustomed to the cold logic of algorithms and data streams, found himself captivated by these girls. Their vibrant spirits and unique perspectives chipped away at the walls he had built around his own emotions. He began to question the world around him, the system he had always accepted without question. The more time Evan spent with Natsuki, Tomoka, and Kyoko, the more he realized the suffocating nature of their reality. Their creativity and independent thought were seen as threats. He witnessed firsthand the oppressive tactics employed by the state to control its citizens. He saw the fear in the eyes of those who dared to step out of line.
My own work began to weigh heavily on my conscience. I realized that I was complicit in the system's control. The algorithms I perfected were used to suppress individuality and enforce conformity. The realization filled me with a growing sense of unease and guilt.
Evan's disillusionment deepened when he discovered the state's plans for Natsuki, Tomoka, and Kyoko. They were to be sent to re-education facilities, notorious for their brutal methods of suppressing individuality and free will.
I knew I could not stand idly by while these vibrant souls were extinguished. For the first time in my life, I felt a surge of anger and defiance. I had always excelled within the system, but now I saw it for what it truly was, a cage designed to limit human potential. I resolved to help Natsuki, Tomoka, and Kyoko escape their fate.
As Evan grappled with his newfound convictions, his connection with the girls deepened. He saw their vulnerability, their fear of the state's power, but he also saw their unwavering spirit, their refusal to be silenced. They, in turn, recognized a kindred spirit in Evan. They saw past his reserved exterior and connected with the compassionate heart he had kept hidden for so long.
Your curiosity is a spark, Evan. It's what makes you different.
We need to hold on to that spark. It's our way out.
Together we can find the truth and break free.
He found himself drawn to Natsuki's vibrant energy and artistic spirit. Her drawings, full of life and color, awakened a sense of wonder within him that he had long forgotten. He connected with Tomoka's passionate soul and her unwavering belief in the power of music. Her melodies became a source of solace and inspiration. And in Kyoko, He discovered a shared love for knowledge and a thirst for truth that transcended their oppressive reality.
Through our shared experiences, I began to understand the true meaning of connection. I learned to value their unique perspectives and embrace their individuality. I felt a sense of belonging I had never known before, a feeling that transcended the state's attempts to define and control our lives.
And so, the spark of connection ignited a flame of resistance, one that would challenge the very foundations of their controlled existence. As Evan's bond with Natsuki, Tomoka, and Kyoko strengthened, so too did the state's scrutiny. His unusual behavior, his unsanctioned meetings with the girls, did not go unnoticed. The ever-watchful eye of the state, personified by the chillingly efficient overseer, began to focus on him with increasing suspicion.
I can feel their eyes on me everywhere I go. It's only a matter of time before they close in.
The overseer, a stern woman with a chillingly calm demeanor, summoned Evan to her office. She questioned him about his recent activities, his interactions with the girls.
Tell me, Evan, what exactly have you been up to lately? Your behavior has raised some concerns.
Just keeping to myself, as always. Nothing out of the ordinary, I assure you.
Evan, skilled at concealing his emotions, managed to deflect her inquiries, but he knew he was walking a tightrope. One wrong step could have disastrous consequences for him and for the girls he was determined to protect. The pressure intensified. The state's surveillance on Evan increased tenfold. He was followed, his communications monitored, his every move scrutinized. The walls seemed to be closing in, the weight of the state's control bearing down on him with suffocating force.
I can't keep this up much longer. I have to make a move, and soon, for their sake and mine.
Evan found himself torn between his desire to protect the girls and the ever-present threat of the state. He knew that the time for subtle defiance was over. He had to act, and act decisively, if he wanted to save them and himself. The threat to Natsuki, Tomoka, and Kyoko ignited a spark of rebellion in Evan's heart. He could no longer stand idly by while the state crushed the spirits of these extraordinary young women. His fear was replaced by a steely resolve to fight back, to protect the people he cared about, and to reclaim their freedom.
Enough is enough. I can't let them suffer any longer. It's time to take a stand.
Leveraging his intimate knowledge of the state's systems, Evan began to formulate a daring plan. He would use his skills as a programmer to turn the state's own technology against itself. He would create a virus, a digital weapon capable of disabling the surveillance network and granting them a window of opportunity to escape.
This has to work. Failure is not an option. If I get caught, it's over for all of us.
However, Evan's plan was not without risks. He knew that failure was not an option. If caught, the consequences would be dire, not just for him, but for Natsuki, Tomoka, and Kyoko as well. He understood the gravity of his actions, the potential cost of his rebellion. Yet he was driven by a force greater than fear, love. He had grown to care deeply for these women, their strength and resilience inspiring him to fight for a better future, a world where their individuality would be celebrated, not suppressed.
For them, I'll do whatever it takes. They deserve a life of freedom, not one of oppression.
Evan's plan was audacious, relying on his deep understanding of the state's intricate systems and a healthy dose of calculated risk. He knew that a direct assault on the state's infrastructure was impossible. They were outmatched and outgunned. Instead, he aimed to create a distraction, a digital smokescreen that would buy them precious time to escape.
We can't take them head on, but if we can create enough chaos, we might just slip through the cracks.
His plan centered on a virus of his own creation. This virus, once unleashed, would infiltrate the state's central control system, creating a cascade of errors and false alarms. This digital chaos would divert the state's resources, giving them a window to disappear.
This virus is our ticket out. We just need to execute it perfectly.
Evan shared his plan with Natsuki, Tomoka, and Kyoko. He was met with a mixture of apprehension and determination. They understood the risks involved, the potential consequences of failure, but they also recognized that this was their only chance to break free from the state's control.
It's risky, but what choice do we have? We can't live like this anymore.
I'll help with the technical side. We need to make sure the virus works flawlessly.
I'll secure our escape route. There are hidden passages in the city that even the state doesn't know about.
Together they finalized the plan, each playing a crucial role in its execution. Natsuki, with her keen eye for detail, would create a diversionary tactic, drawing attention away from their escape route. Tomoka, utilizing her technical skills, would assist Evan in uploading the virus. Kyoko, leveraging her knowledge of the city's underbelly, would secure their escape route, guiding them through the city's hidden passages and forgotten tunnels.
This is it. We have one shot. Let's make it count.
We're with you, Evan, all the way.
Let's do this.
For our freedom.
The stage was set. The plan was in motion. There was no turning back now. The day of the escape arrived, fraught with tension and uncertainty. Evan, as S1, we need to move quickly and stay synchronized. Our lives depend on it. Natsuki, as S2, got it, Evan, I'll handle the diversion. Natsuki, a whirlwind of color and energy, executed her diversionary tactic flawlessly, drawing the attention of the state's peacekeepers with a public display of unauthorized art. Natsuki, as S2, look at this, everyone. The state can't cage our spirits. Meanwhile, Evan and Tomoka, their fingers flying across keyboards, uploaded the virus into the state's network. The system, overwhelmed by a torrent of false data, shuddered under the strain. Tomoka, as S3. The virus is in. Now let's hope it holds. Alarms blared, screens flickered, and the omnipresent surveillance network momentarily faltered. Kyoko, her eyes sharp and alert, guided them through the labyrinthine corridors of the city's underbelly. Kyoko, as S4. This way, we're almost there. Stay close. They moved quickly, their footsteps echoing in the darkness, their hearts pounding in unison with the city's panicked heartbeat. Evan, as S1. I can't shake the feeling that our freedom comes at a price. The state, its systems compromised, reacted with swift and brutal efficiency. Peacekeepers swarmed the city, their presence a stark reminder of the state's absolute authority. The weight of their sacrifice, the potential consequences of their actions, pressed down on them. After a harrowing escape, fraught with danger and close calls, Evan, Natsuki, Tomoka, and Kyoko emerged from the city's depths, blinking in the harsh sunlight of a new dawn. Natsuki, as S2, we made it, we're free. Tomoka, as S3, but our fight is far from over. They found refuge in a forgotten corner of the world, a dilapidated farmhouse miles from the state's watchful eyes. It was a far cry from the lives they had left behind, but it was theirs. For the first time, they were free to live, to love, to create without the constraints of the state's control. Kyoko as S4. This place, it's not much, but it's ours. The transition was not easy. The scars of their past ran deep. Evan, haunted by the memories of his former life, struggled to reconcile his role in the state's apparatus with his newfound freedom. Evan as S1. The weight of my actions, it's hard to bear. Natsuki, Tomoka, and Kyoko, each in their way, grappled with the trauma of their past. The memories of their confinement, the constant fear of the state's control, lingered like shadows. Yet they found solace in their shared experiences, their bond forged in the crucible of their escape. As the days turned into weeks, a sense of normalcy settled over their lives. They found solace in simple routines, in the rhythms of a life lived on their terms. Evan, as S1, I'm starting to believe we can make a difference. Evan, his guilt slowly giving way to hope, dedicated himself to dismantling the state's control, using his knowledge to help others break free. Natsuki, as S2. This farmhouse needs some color. Time to create something beautiful. Natsuki, her artistic spirit rekindled, transformed the dilapidated farmhouse into a canvas for her vibrant murals. Her art, once a symbol of defiance, became a testament to their newfound freedom, a celebration of individuality and hope. Tomoka, as S3. Music at last. It's like a breath of fresh air. Tomoka's music, no longer silenced by the state's restrictions, filled the air with its soul-stirring melodies. Her songs, imbued with the pain of their shared past and the hope for a brighter future, became anthems of their rebellion, carried on the wind to inspire others to fight for their freedom. Kyoko, as S4. Knowledge is power. We need to keep learning, keep growing. Kyoko, her thirst for knowledge undimmed, established a makeshift library in the farmhouse, filled with books smuggled out of the city. She became a beacon of learning, sharing her knowledge and love of literature with anyone who sought refuge in their sanctuary. Life in their newfound sanctuary was not without its challenges. The threat of the state still loomed large, a constant reminder of the fragility of their freedom. Yet they persevered, their spirits unbroken, their resolve strengthened by their shared experiences. Evan, as S1. We've come so far, but there's still so much to do. They built a community, a haven for those seeking refuge from the state's control. The farmhouse, once a symbol of their escape, became a beacon of hope, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to resist oppression and to build a better world. Natsuki, as S2. Together, we can create something beautiful, something lasting. Evan, his heart no longer bound by the cold logic of his former life, found love and acceptance in the arms of Natsuki, Tomoka, and Kyoko. Tomoka, as S3. We're stronger together. We always have been. Together, they vowed to continue their fight, to dismantle the state's oppressive regime and build a future where individuality was celebrated, not suppressed. Kyoko, as S4. Our story isn't over, it's just beginning. Their story, a testament to the power of love, courage, and the unyielding human spirit, served as a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the flame of freedom could never be truly extinguished. The fight for a better future had just begun,